Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Miss Ramsey. Hello, I'm Rodney Rhodes. I live in the most extreme part of south central Alabama in Escambia County. It's the little town of Brewton, Alabama. You know, it's one of those small towns where everyone knows everyone. You know, Brewton's that kind of place, you know, when you was growing up, you couldn't wait to get out of, couldn't wait to leave. But when you left, you was ready to come back. Let me tell you a little bit about myself tonight. I'm married to the beautiful Leslie Crutchfield, also of Brewton. I have two stepchildren. Colin's 18 and Megan's 21. I have a little boy, John Braxton. He'll turn 8 in January. And I also am a proud step-granddaddy. I have a little girl, Callie, step-granddaughter, who will turn 8 weeks old next week. I'd like to ask you a little bit about this afternoon about setting goals, about having dreams, about striving to fulfill your dreams. You know, when did you start to set goals in your life? Might have not even believed it, might not even realized it, but I know when I started setting goals and I think back on it, I didn't realize I was setting a goal. But I was sitting in Miss Benjamin's 6th grade math class, counting the days now until I graduated high school in 6th grade. I was like one of them guys on the movie The Shawshank Redemption. I was marking the day off on the calendar every day, and I was sitting there in math class trying to calculate how many days I would have to go until I got out of this godforsaken place. Like the old guy said on Shawshank Redemption, I felt I was institutionalized. Goal of getting out of high school and I didn't really even know it. Maybe you have a goal. Maybe you've leaned over and told your wife, you know, next year, honey, we're going on that vacation. We're going to Tahiti. We're going to Hawaii. Did you realize you're setting a goal to try to achieve it? Didn't pay attention much in high school, but I paid attention one time in Susan Smith's English class, We was talking about English literature one day, and she came up with these two words, and they've stuck in my head ever since. The two words were carpe diem. Seize the day. Do you seize the day? Do you make the most out of what you have? Do you set those little goals to become big goals, that they may fall in order of where you want to be? Do you write them down, or do you just keep them in the back of your head? Maybe you put them on Facebook. A lot of kids nowadays do the Facebook kind of thing. I even have a Facebook page. I'm not much into it, but I have one. But do you write your goals down on there, or what do you do with them? For me, when I was growing up, the goals stayed in the back of my head. I might ask you, how do you prepare to accomplish the goals that you set forth in life? Let me tell you a little bit about my one main goal. My one main goal in life when I was growing up was to be a farmer. To plant seeds, to grow a crop, to harvest a crop. I wanted to farm for a living. My daddy told me it would be a very impossible task for me to do. Since he did not farm for a living, he worked civilian work. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, but all I wanted to do was farm. So in high school, I got myself a job working for a farmer for $3 an hour. The year out of high school, I started planting 16 acres of cotton with a 2-row tractor and grew that into a cotton operation and a peanut operation of 1,200 plus acres. Blood, sweat, and tears, sweat of the brow, ladies and gentlemen. How do you prepare to accomplish the goals you set forth? I set forth to blood, sweat, and tears get mine. As life went on, where do the goals go? Do they fall into place like you want them to, or do they... Maybe life doesn't always turn out the way you want it to, does it? It didn't for me. Hurricane Ivan, you know, could be that big event in your life that would change what you set forth to do. And Hurricane Ivan was my big event. I had that goal to set forth to become a farmer. I was a farmer, and I was a very profitable farmer. I was the state Young Farmers Chairman for the Alpha Farmers Federation. I had flew to Washington, D.C. and lobbied for young farmers all across this nation for the struggles that they face. But when Hurricane Ivan came, it destroyed my crops, it destroyed my equipment, it destroyed my barns. It destroyed everything I had in the farming operation new. I had to start over. Because like I said, sometimes in life it doesn't turn out the way you want it to. But when the goals go wrong, and not as planned, do you ditch them or do you persevere? Do you strive to go on or do you just call it quits, throw your hands in the air and say, I've done all I can? Well, you might say, well, Mr. Rhodes, you quit. No, I didn't quit. I was sort of forced out, but I considered myself a success. I did what I wanted to do. I was a farmer. I planted the seed. I watched it grow. I harvested it. I grew it from 16 acres up to 1,200 acres. May I ask you now, where are you in the process of the goals you set out to be? Maybe you set out to be a doctor or a lawyer. Maybe you set out to be a dentist or a teacher. Did you achieve those goals? Are you where you want to be in the process? See, my goals have changed because I was once a farmer and now I'm no more. Excuse me, I had a friend that got me into the car business. I started out as a meager salesman, which there's nothing wrong with. Everybody needs a salesman. I worked my way up to the second in command of the whole dealership. But now I have a goal. My goal is I'm going to graduate with a bachelor's in science next year, 2012, December, from the University of West Alabama. That is my goal. Because, see, we have to alter our goals as we go through life. Because, just like I said earlier, life doesn't always turn out the way we want it to. We have to change the way we go. We don't always walk down the same path. Yogi Berra had a very wise saying, if you see a fork in a road, take it. Because sometimes we must. Would you consider yourself a failure? Would you consider yourself a success? Can you look in the mirror? I had a football coach, Harrison Mims, told me one time at the end of a football game, can you walk in the room and look in the mirror and say, I did all I could do? He said, if you can, walk away knowing you did what you could. If not, do you still have time to achieve your goals? I have time. I'm going back to school. I'm 39 years old and I'm back in college to receive a degree in the Bachelor's of Science because I'm going to pursue a degree where I can further my future. I can have a job with benefits. I can go to have more time with my son and my other children. I can have more time to spend with my wife. I want to better myself. I want to be a success because the future is upon us. Where do you want to be in the future? Where do you fit in? Are you preparing for the future? Are you preparing for the goals that you have set forth? Or did you throw up your hands up in the air? Did you say, it's not achievable, and wadded them up, that piece of paper, and threw it in the garbage? Are you leading or are you following? Winston Churchill has a very, very good saying that he had back during World War II that I try to live by. Winston Churchill said that a leader sees opportunities in every difficulty rather than the difficulty in every opportunity. Let me repeat that for you. A true leader sees the opportunity in every difficulty rather than the difficulty in every opportunity. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that just for a second. That no matter what life throws at you, that you will see the positive, whether the jar is half empty or the jar is half full. Where do you want to be? I'm 39 years old. As you have heard, I've had some goals in my life that I have attained. Some I have achieved, some I have not. There are even some that I'm still working on, as in the West Alabama. I will graduate. The question is, where do you want to be? Goals, they are extremely important. Without them, we tend to wander around aimlessly throughout life with no particular direction at all. I have to believe a lot of our younger folks today don't have no goals set forth for the future. They don't even know today, much less what they will do 10 years from now. It's never too late, ladies and gentlemen. It's never too late to start a goal. The little ones that may change today, the little ones that may change tomorrow. Or how about the big goals that will change your life? Thank you.